Listen up, Canada, because this is very important. This is very important. This is probably going to be the most important message you hear in your life. And by the end of it, you may even start talking in tongues. Now, I haven't been able to get through to a lot of y'all for a long time, and I know some of you have been hard-headed as wood, but I believe that if you just listen and be patient and digest what I'm saying with an open mind, you will understand that Canada right now is at one of the biggest and clearest crossroads that it has ever stumbled across. And whichever route we take as a people will determine whether or not our country becomes a country of crime and rape and murder and drugs and destruction, or a country of peace, prosperity, uh, just amazing, wonderful, humane happiness and order. We can choose. Now, a few days ago, there was a protest in front of Parliament Hill, the lair of the long-haired son of Satan, Justin Trudeau, macdaddy. There was a protest after his government transferred a rapist and murderer, Terri-Lynne McClintock, who killed Tori Stafford in the most barbaric fashion. She was transported to a healing lodge, not to a jail cell, not to a dungeon, not to the chopping block or the whipping post, but to a healing lodge. Now, a healing lodge is one of those inventions that the Canadian government made because they felt guilty at how they treated the Native American. And because Terri-Lynne McClintock claims Native lineage, she has been brought to this healing lodge, a place of relaxation, of games, of activities. Basically, if you've ever been to a long-term mental health stay, I mean, it's not a nice place, but it's not jail either. A long-term stay, you're gonna have television, you're gonna have computers, Wi-Fi, good food. You're probably gonna eat some steak every now and then. It is by no means jail. And this is a dangerous thing because if you know Tori Stafford, this young, beautiful Canadian woman, and you knew how she was killed, it would upset the devil himself. She was destroyed in the prime of her life, 8-year-old little girl, 10 years old, by this wicked, wicked woman, wicked and evil and cruel human being, murdered her and raped her. And for that, Tori is now dead and in the grave, being fed to the worms, and Terry is going to a healing lodge. Now, I've made a video about this, but I believe this situation that we're in is something that we cannot forget. And now the election is coming up in 2019. I don't know if the macdaddy's gonna win or not. When I see how the people who have been chosen to save the country are fighting like dogs in the night, the conservatives and the Maxime Bernier conservatives and the Andrew Scheer conservatives, it makes me sick. It's something I'd want to write a book about. Imagine heaven has been invaded by the devil's army. Lucifer's son sits upon the throne of God in heaven, slaughtering everything, tearing up everything, and the angels of heaven, who God has called upon to save his kingdom, are fighting amongst themselves in the most almighty girl fight in a generation, the Shears and the Bernier. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? You got paradise burning right now, and the angels are in a bitch awful street fight. It's a shame. It's a shame before God. It's a shame before man. It's a shame before life itself. But we have to ask ourselves, Canadians, and we got to get serious. We got to stop this foolishness that we're doing. Do we want a leader who is complicit in murder? Well, maybe not complicit, but who is encouraging murder? Who is encouraging murder and rape? Canadian, listen to me, Canadian. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to the Iran nation. This is your last hope. Hope comes out of my mouth. It don't come from your ballot. It comes from my mouth. And I don't have to listen to anything you cannot say. I'm telling you, this is your last god-awful chance. Do you really want to elect somebody who is encouraging this? Imagine this. I have a beef with somebody, whoever it may be, young or old, rich or poor. I decide I'm going to kill somebody and rape somebody. And then the government says, well, he's a black man, he's a minority, he was discriminated against, his people were discriminated against 100 years ago. We're going to put him in a healing lodge. What punishment is that? What's that? Do you listen to me? I'm begging you. Do you want me to go on my knees, Canadian? Is this what you want? Come on. I'm looking at the latest polls, and the macdaddy, for some reason, is 11 points ahead. This is by no means a slam dunk. You all have seen Trump. You all have seen Brexit. You all have seen Brazil. You all have seen Italy. You all have seen what's happening in Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, and soon to be Alberta. But let me tell you, when Canadians group together as a whole, they somehow lose their heads. So this is by no means, y'all conservatives can stay there playing the fool, trying to split up and chop up yourselves and fight amongst yourselves and carry on like a bunch of dumb. Y'all can play the fool all you want, but I'm telling you, if we don't get serious soon, you're going to see a country where we have a leader who is encouraging the most awfulest, the worst kind of violence, where people can kill and rape an 8-year-old girl and get away with it. Is that what you want for your country? Because it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's going to be, you think Somalia is bad. You ain't seen nothing yet when you see a bunch of young people out there in Hamilton or in Toronto or in Montreal or in Winnipeg or Saskatoon or Northwest Territories, when they see that the macdaddy has been elected after how Tori Stafford's murderer just happened to appear in a healing lodge after she killed that girl, and they say, I'm gonna kill Jane down the street. I don't like the way she looked at me. I'm gonna slap up that little boy down there on Queen Street. You know that boy is so rude. He acts just like his mom. I'm gonna take my stick at him. I'm gonna whoop him so bad. I'm gonna lynch that boy so bad. The KKK gonna be jealous. And that's what our country is going to turn out to be when you have somebody encouraging that. Because that's what it is. If the government actively releases a murderer and a rapist from prison and sends them to a healing lodge after what they did, and then when people try and confront that government, they say that they're just ambulance chasing, that's encouraging murder. That's encouraging murder. That's what it is. And there are no two ways about that. So choose which candidate you want. Choose, and I say choose wisely. I know which one I want. And this is the Iran nation.